All right. So today we have like a few different things to talk about. The first thing I'm going to go over BOD groups just because they're getting ready to launch, and I want us to just kind of be in the know about what it is, when it's launching, and decide if we want to kind of transition our group over to the app. And I just want to kind of get your all's opinion on that because with BOD groups, it's supposed to be a lot more interactive, and there's going to be a lot more features and things on there that everyone can use. And then we are going to go into our avatars, sharing those, and then doing our Instagram reviews for each other. So let's see. Share screen. All right. Can y'all see Carl?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I've been getting a lot of questions lately on just what is this application called BOD Groups, which we're launching in late March, which goes full steam ahead in April. And it's really very simple. And I'm going to give you a tip on how you can get ahead of the curve and start to take advantage or be ready to take advantage of BOD Groups when it launches. Now, first off, really what it is we're combining our My Challenge Tracker app with our e-commerce plus access to our BOD content and coach tools, so it's easier for you to invite people to your groups, manage your groups, and market your groups. So it's basically my site, Coach Office, Beachbody On Demand, the e-commerce Share a Cart application, and of course my Challenge Tracker app. Now, all of this is being designed to help coaches easier create and market groups. So that means you're going to be able to do things like import and manage your contacts. You're going to be able to do things like integrate Share a Cart directly into your group so that when you share a cart with a recommendation for getting Shakeology and access to Beachbody On Demand, that's going to be in the Share a Cart. It's going to bring people right into your group. You're also going to have access to the Beachbody On Demand content from right within the group. So while your group is interacting and supporting each other, people will be able to access their BOD content and their nutrition content right from within the app. There's going to be an incredible group experience where you can share photos, share videos, share the whole experience, all integrated into the Beachbody On Demand content. We're going to have activity tracking and sharing across the platform. And at the end of the day, some of the most important stuff is going to be about how easy it is for you to invite and encourage people to invite within your group. Now, here's how you get ahead of the curve before the launch, okay? When we launch BOD Groups, it will basically be a major upgrade to My Challenge Tracker app. That means that right now, if you're building groups in the My Challenge Tracker app, we will port those over to the new application when this whole thing launches in late March and early April. That means that right now, if you're building groups in My Challenge Tracker app, those groups will then immediately be in the BOD Groups application when we launch it. That means right now with the launch of Bar Blend and 4 weeks of the prep and 6 weeks of the work and so many people starting challenge groups, we've got people doing 80-day obsession and Morning Meltdown 100 and Lift 4 and Body Beast and P90X and Transform 20, all the programs. Like, we've got so many groups happening right now. If you were to integrate those groups into My Challenge Tracker app right now, that way people are they're on their phones on My Challenge Tracker app and they're basically tracking, here it is, they're tracking their Shakeology consumption, which helps keep them consistent. They're tracking their workouts. So this functionality will still exist in BOD Groups. So you go in there, I'm having my Shakeology right now, boom, let's add a photo of it. Hey, oh no, I'm gonna need to take a photo of it. I can do this. Take a photo, a little selfie. No, I'll just take a photo. There we are. And then I post it. Use the photo. Now my group knows that I took my Shakeology today because I shared it with the group. Anyway, the point is, you're getting your challengers in the habit of getting a daily dose of dense nutrition, in the habit of tracking their workouts so that when BOD Groups start, now you've got a team that is ready to go and ready to take advantage of some of the major incentives that we're going to put in place when we launch bod groups in late March. So you heard it here first. We're going into Super Weekend, and so many groups are starting right now. I want you to get ahead of the curve. Set up, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3 people, set up a group in my.
Okay, we get the gist. So basically, have you all used the tracker app? Have you all ever been in one of my groups where I use the app?
Yeah.
Sam has.
No.
Christy hasn't. Okay. So basically, it's just like a challenge group that's on Facebook, but it's on an app that Beachbody created called My Challenge Tracker. So it has the same functionality. You get on there, it has a feed where everyone shares their photos. The coach can make posts that stay at the top of the page so everyone sees it. But the thing about Challenge Tracker app that was cool is that it has a place where you log your workout and your Shakeology every single day. And at the very top of the screen, it will give you like a check mark if you've done your workout and a check mark if you've had your shake. You can upload files. You can literally do the same things you could do in a Facebook group. I just never had as much success and engagement with my clients on the app as compared to Facebook, because what was happening for my girls was that it was so much easier for them to check in on Facebook because they were already on Facebook every day, but they would forget about the app. They would forget to go to the app. So that's why, like, I've done groups on the app, but I hadn't really like consistently stuck with it. It's just because I felt like my girls were getting a better experience through the Facebook group. But what I love about what's going to be new about bod groups is how everything is going to be connected to that one thing. So it's like they can access their workouts, they can access the accountability group, they can access all their nutrition information, have all of their tracking right there. Like, we can send them share carts. Like, everything is all connected in that one place. So I really do want to try this. And what I'm thinking about doing is creating a group that's going to be identical to the one that we have on Facebook right now. Probably have the same posts in each group. Maybe do a little bit different variation in one of them, just see, and have anybody who wants to join the group on bod groups, like, they can join, but we're still going to have the Facebook group, and we're just going to see how it goes. See if we get more people engaging on the app, and if it goes really well, then maybe we end up fully transitioning over to the app. But I personally don't want to like close the Facebook group and go to the app and risk like losing a lot of people who are super active in the Facebook group. But there are also there's 500 people in our Facebook group, and probably only like 20 people or less who are active in it consistently every single day. So I want to kind of use this as an opportunity to try to get people who have fallen off the wagon and fallen off track to like kind of reinvigorate them and get them transferred over to the app and maybe get them involved again. And then also just have everyone who is already active on Facebook, like, really talk to them about transitioning over to the app and being just as active over there, because that is what makes accountability groups successful, is the engagement and how active everyone is in there every single day. And I know personally, I feel like I could even do a better job. Like, I don't do a good job like sharing my food or my shake or anything like that in there. Like, I'm super consistent about posting my workout every day, but I want to get better about posting your shake and stuff, because that is what is going to show people that, hey, I really do need to be consistent with my Shakeology every single day, because I've been finding that a lot of my new girls are not drinking it every single day like they should. But as their coach, I'm really not setting that example for them to drink it every day, because they're not seeing me do it. I mean, if they're watching my Instagram stories, they're seeing me do it because I post it on there every day, but like, I'm not posting it in the group. So I definitely think as a whole, as coaches and as the leaders of this group, like, we could do a better job of showing that we're using our products. So not only are we working out, but we're drinking Shakeology every single day, no matter what. We're drinking Energize every single day before our workout, and sometimes even again in the afternoon when we just need to pick me up. Like, we're drinking Hydrate, we're drinking Recover, we're eating a Beach Bar. Like, we need to show that we're actually using this stuff, and like even collagen and how it is helping us and the improvements that we've seen, because we are the leaders. Like every single one of us on this call, like we are a leader in this group and in this community. And it's up to us to, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, the first step in leadership is modeling the behavior. And that is what is going to get our clients and customers to stick to their Shakeology and get it every single month. And that turns into like the new Success Club thing where they're doing, where say whoever bought challenge packs in March, if they continue getting their HD shipments in April, that could accumulate enough volume to get you another Success Club point in April. So like getting people consistent on Shakeology is super important, and something that I think we need to like start honing in on, because personally to me, I could care less if you actually get a workout done 5 days a week. I would rather you get a workout done 2 or 3 days a week, but drink your Shakeology seven days a week, because it is more important what you're putting in your body and what you're fueling your body with than it is that you are doing your workout every single day. Because I don't know if y'all listened to the National Wake Up Call on Monday, but it was incredible. If you have not listened to it, I loved it. I loved her perspective on everything, because she talked about how her number one priority is the experience that her customer gets. So as coaches, like we are not the fitness expert. That's what we have Autumn and Shanti and Joel and Jericho. Like we have them because they are the fitness experts. We're not the nutrition experts. We have Autumn and we have Alana for that. But we are in charge of making sure that every single girl who signs up and joins our community has the best experience possible. That is our job. And I loved how she put that, because that's so true. Like our job as a coach is to make sure that they have the tools that they need, they have the accountability that they need, the support they need. Like we are in charge of their experience. And I also like to think of it as if say, so Emily, for example, we're going to use this girl that me and Sam have been talking to. If when Emily signs up, if she has a terrible experience and she doesn't get the accountability she needs, if I like start ignoring her and don't respond to her questions, if I don't check in on her and make sure that she's staying on track, she's going to go out to the world and tell people that Beachbody doesn't work. Like she's going to go tell people, yeah, I tried that and it didn't work for me. And so then that's just another person who is going to think that, oh, home workouts don't work. When really the fact is, as her coach, I wasn't there for her and I didn't give her the accountability she needed. So she didn't stick to the program. So that's why it didn't work for her. So that is kind of our responsibility, is to make sure people do get those results that they want and that they are showing up for themselves. So I just hope that with like BOD groups and having everything right there, I think it's just going to be easier, because they're going to be able to access not only our stuff from the accountability group, but their workout is going to be right there. Their nutrition stuff's going to be right there. And hopefully like we won't have so much confusion or so many questions on like, okay, where do I find this? Where's my nutrition? What's this? So I'm going to try to do that group, like I said. And I'll probably just like do a video in the Facebook group and explain everything, and just be like, if you want to join the BOD group, drop your email below and we'll just send out like mass invitations to everybody who wants to transition over to the app. And like Christy, I know you're doing your own private accountability group for BAR. So if you want to transition them over to the app, you could try that and just see how it goes. But I think a lot of the success that we're either going to see or not see with the app is going to be dependent on us and making sure that we are super engaged and showing up in there every single day. So for a while, it's probably going to be a little bit more work for us just to make sure that we are like posting in the Facebook group and posting in the app. But like Bailey, for example, she has both. She has a Facebook group and she has a group on the app. And so some people, like, I think she puts her girls into both. And then some of them are super active on the app and some of them are super active in the Facebook group. It just depends on what works best for them. So I'm thinking that's the route that I'm going to take. So with that being said, we have a super weekend at 2:00. I'm going to find, let me see if I can find the, link for it. Is Elise asleep?
Lord, no. She's her and Alex are downstairs, probably watching Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig.
Yeah,
Okay.
Peppa Pig and Paw Patrol. Those are her shows.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna share this post into Radiant Empire, and it's got the Zoom link right here.
Perfect.
Oh, for the first 10,000 who join. So be sure you get on there early.
Okay. Yeah.
A bod groups training will follow directly after the live Zoom event. So I'm probably gonna stay on there for that. And I also talked about this on my stories. So if you have anybody who you are like actively talking to right now, tell them about Super Weekend and invite them to hop on this link and join, because if we were doing this in person, like Super Weekend is a really, really good event to invite prospects to, because it's so much fun and it gives them a really good idea of what our community is like and what like our mission and what our values are and what's important to us. So if you have anybody that you can invite, it would be a really good opportunity. Let's see if this will work. My internet is being so slow today.
I was going to tell you guys, so this week during school, while I was doing my schoolwork, I found this statistic and it was absolutely crazy, and it can apply to anything. If one person has a bad experience in anything, they will go to tell 10 people. If one person has a good experience, they only tell 4.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
it's amazing to see just how one dissatisfied person can knock out 10 people.
Yep. It's crazy. All right, so we're going to transition over to talking about our niche market and our avatar, and I'm just going to kind of walk you guys through my person. I know that you probably already read it, but this was super exciting. Oh, y'all posted yours. I didn't see it yet. Yay. Okay. So we talked about this on the live, and this is something that I have struggled with in the last 5 years, is like really narrowing down like who I want to talk to, because for some reason in my brain I've always been scared to like really narrow down and talk to like one specific person, because it's like, but I don't want to leave anyone out. Like that's what my brain goes to. But every single super successful coach that is out there has nailed down who her audience is, and it's someone who is super specific. And that is when it's almost like that is like the switch in their business where it's like, okay, yes, like this is when things changed for me, was because I stopped trying to talk to everyone and appeal to everyone, and I started just talking to this one type of person who I really related to, who I could really like understand the struggles they were going through. And like that is when people started like naturally coming to me and wanting to join and know what I'm doing. So I got all of these questions from the podcasting course that I'm doing. So at the end, I'm going to share with you guys my like cover artwork I did for my podcast, because I'm super excited about it. But anyways, so we did this as part of our homework for this week. It was nailing down your niche. So these were the questions. So who would you be most excited to have join your team? Who is your team and accountability group for? What type of person? What is their age, their stage of life, their socioeconomic status, and their potential profession? So that is like, are they in their 20s, 30s? Are they still in school? Did they just graduate? Are they just starting in the workforce? Are they older, in their 30s or 40s? Maybe their kids are grown up. How much money do they make every single year? Like what type of job do they have? What keeps her up at night? What does she Google? What yanks at her heartstrings? What does she fear? So really those things that like are really important to her and special to her. What would she say are some of her values? What are her personality traits? So for me, when I was thinking about this, I was like, the person that I want to work with is somebody who is a lot like me. And so when like I go over this stuff about Bailey, like so many things about her is kind of aligns with my personal story. And what I like about that is because if she's going through the same kind of struggles that I went through a few years ago, then I can speak directly to her because I know the feeling of what she's experiencing. And I know that she can get to the other side of it and come out and like overcome every single obstacle that she's facing. What does she do for fun? What makes her laugh? What are her social media behaviors? So does she post regularly or not? What time of day is she on social media? Does she watch Instagram stories? And so this is my example. This is Bailey. So what's so funny is I posted this in my podcasting group that I'm in, and Keisha was like, she even looks like you. And I was like, yeah, she does, which I didn't even think about it. But I got this picture from the last time I went and got my hair cut. This is like the picture that I used for how I wanted my hair to be.
I've done that. I've taken this exact same picture to the hair salon to get this haircut.
For real. Okay, so this is Bailey. She is 25 years old. She just graduated from college and got her first job at a big company in the city as an assistant to the CEO. She makes $52,000 a year. She's been in her job for about 6 months, but she's already thinking that this lifestyle and corporate career path might not be for her. She's a small town girl, but wants to experience the city life to see if it could be what she's looking for. She's longed to escape the small town she grew up in, knowing there has to be more in this world. She's in a serious relationship with her high school sweetheart, and they're starting to think about marriage and kids. And she already knows that she wants to be a stay-at-home mom when that day comes. But she still wants to contribute to her family financially. She's an achiever and has always been one of the best at everything she does. Taking risks has always scared her, though, and resulted in her not taking action on big ideas that she has. She has perfectionist tendencies and always wants everything to be 100% planned out and certain before she begins. She's a dog mom to a Shih Tzu named Theo. She loves iced coffee, no sugar though, because she's super conscious about her health and well-being. She's starting to get into personal development and podcasts and listens on her way to the office every day. She's shy until you get to know her, and then she will open up and tell you anything. Her biggest fear is losing security financially, and she has big dreams on her heart and wants to challenge being average and having a normal job. She values honesty and her independence. She tends to care too much about what other people think, but she's working on that. So if y'all have known me for a while, you know a lot of the things that she's struggling with or she's going through right now is very similar to my story. So this is why, like, I want to do this business and why I'm so passionate about this business is to help the girl who was just like me a few years ago and just kind of struggling and knowing that she wants more out of her life. And that she just is scared to take that risk. And so that was me. Like, I was always so scared to jump in and start something new or take a risk. And I want to, like, just with my business and with the podcast that I'm doing and everything, like, I just want to speak to that girl and tell her that, like, she doesn't have to settle for average just because that's what her family has kind of done her entire life. And not that they've settled for average, but just to know that just because nobody else has ever challenged normal or challenged like the status quo of what your life should look like, that doesn't mean that she has to settle if there's something bigger on her heart, that she can go for it and she's worthy of that. So I'm going to go up here and look at your alls if you all want to talk through it and introduce us to these people. So Christy, tell us about Miss Holly.
So I absolutely love the name Holly. I don't know why. Like, it's not a name that I have picked out for my kids, but I've just always loved the name. She, again, is very, similar to someone like me. She's 25 years old. She's married. She doesn't have any children, but she definitely wants 2 to 3 in the near future. She has a full-time job working in the healthcare field. She works long hours, but loves spending time with her family. and values her time with her spouse. On her days off, she enjoys doing anything outdoors, kayaking, hiking, biking, yard work, gardening, but she also loves to curl up with a good book on rainy days and read. Whenever she and her husband has a break, they love to jump in the car and just see where the road takes them, but don't forget their little fur child, Zoe. So Lita's actual CKC name is Zoe. So Holly has struggled with her faith over the last few years due to life being so busy. She wants things to slow down so she can work on her relationship with Jesus and herself. She often finds herself worrying about her health, her husband's health, and feels like it always on her shoulders to fix. She is a fixer, so she strives to work the 40-plus hour work week, do all the house chores, ensure the dinner's always fixed, the laundry's always done, and plus she has to work. And I misplaced. And she feels like her and her husband are gaining weight, and so that's a worry on her mind. She stays awake at night, worrying about all these things, and fears that she's going to fail her husband and herself. She's in the healthcare field because she can help people. It's not an option to let them down, and the same goes for her personal life. She fears that if she ever left the busy work life, she would be letting her patients down. She spends time on social media, either to post about her recent adventures with her husband or a picture of her dog. She does not spend too much time because life right now is super busy and she doesn't even have time to be. Holly knows she needs to slow down and concentrate on herself for herself, but it's just so hard. She is learning how to prioritize her needs, and hopefully along the way she can help her husband. Holly does not have many friends left from college or high school, so finding some friends to help motivate her is on her list of things to do. Her guilty pleasure are dog videos, first grader jokes. So what do you call a fake noodle? And then pasta. It's my favorite. And then those weird videos where people are cutting soap and singing. It's just junk food for the brain.
Yeah. Okay, I love this. So there are so many things that stood out to me about her that are like, okay, Christy needs to talk about that more. She needs to talk about that more. Like the funny jokes and videos that she likes, the dog videos, share those on your stories, because if you enjoy watching them, then your Holly that's out there is going to enjoy watching your stories to see if you're going to post one of those today. And she's just going to connect with you on that. And so the fact that she doesn't spend a ton of time on social media just means that when she does get on there, you want her to see your stuff. So that's making sure you're connecting with her privately is going to be super important, because then that is going to if that's the thing about social media and the algorithm is, if you are talking to someone in messages, then that tells Instagram that you are you like this person and you want to see their stuff, and so your posts are going to come to the top of her feed. So when she gets there, so that's why us focusing on just connecting with people and building those relationships is so important, because then they're going to start seeing your posts and your stories and things even more often. But then just the fact that you say she's struggling with her faith, and because life is so busy, that is something that you can really hone in on and talk about. And those are going to be the people who are going to be attracted to you and going to want to come to you, because they're going to say I see Christy doing all these things, she's working on herself and she's really working on her faith and her relationship with God, and I want that too. And so that's going to be something that you can say I can help you with both. So those are the things that jumped out to me. I don't know if anybody else had any things that jumped out to them about her, but that was really good.
I really loved doing it. I learned a lot.
I know, I did too. So it was so cool. Okay, Sam, introduce us to, what's her name? Caitlin. She's so cute.
All right, so there's Caitlin. Okay, so Caitlin is a 25-year-old mom of one or two young children that are 4 and under. She's married to her longtime boyfriend. They own their own home, and it has a large enough yard for their dog and their kids to play in together. She loves to decorate and is always watching HGTV or watching Joanna Gaines for new trends to shop for at Hobby Lobby. She has a job during the day that allows her to create things and to help people. So she's either like a therapist, a teacher, maybe an interior designer, a preschool aide, a children's minister. She's always known to be crafty and would have a good eye for creating marketing. She is overweight, but not so much that she still can't play with her kids or wear cute clothes, but deep down she knows that she was always wanting more from life when it comes to her health and fitness. In the past, she's gone to the gym with her friends, but never actually committed. She's not exactly new to fitness because she understands most of the moves and the concepts, but she is brand new to committing to programs and using like supplements and a nutrition program. She really likes to do exercises that make her feel powerful and strong. She likes to take time to hang out with her friends who have similar interests. So she would love and always attend group workout sessions. She always puts forth the most effort that she feels like she can at any time, which can sometimes make it hard for her to commit because she's afraid that her energy will have to be divided at times between her kids, her husband, her house, and her work. She will need reassurance from me that she can do this journey, even if she cannot give 100% every single day. She will need a group of girls to keep her on track, but she will likely lead the pack once she feels she is stable. She loves to be chill and would rather just stay at home and hang out with her husband, family, and a small group of friends. She likes to watch HGTV or Food Network. She has an Insta and Facebook and uses them both mostly for friends and family, but she is willing to use them as a platform to help as many women as she can. She has a soft spot for girls like her and knows that her vulnerability will help her reach more girls, so she will gladly share embarrassing photos of her mom belly if she feels like it will help other people feel normal.
I love that. Okay, so a bunch of stuff popped out for me on her too. So like the HGTV and Joanna Gaines stuff, like you sharing and talking about that is going to be one thing that I think becomes like one of the things about you, which you actually did, like sharing how you did your wall. I thought that was super interesting because I have wanted to do one of those, and I was like, how do you figure out where to put all this stuff? But I had never thought about like laying it out on the floor first. But so like I thought that was so good. Let's see what else. Something about she is not really new to fitness, but she's new to committing and is kind of nervous about like going all in and having like her energy divided between things. So I think that's something you can definitely speak to. And also about that she can still do this even if she can't give 100% every day. I think that is something that has like you realizing that for yourself has helped make you so successful on this journey, because like the old you would have been like, well, if I can't give it 100% every day this week, then I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah.
But now you're like, okay, well, I had to miss a workout today because mom life, but I'm going to get up and do a workout tomorrow. And I know that that's okay. And so speaking to that like more often on your stories and things, I think is going to be a really like strong point. And what else is something I was going to say? Like just like small groups, like wanting to hang out. Oh, the group thing. So like doing group workouts, like even if you just have like a couple people over to your house or meet at your church or whatever, like stuff like that. I think if Caitlin, if she enjoys the group workout aspect and like getting together with people, that could be a really awesome thing for you to start doing, even if it's just once a month, like, and having 2 or 3 people come, like whatever it is. I think that would be a really good thing. Yeah. These are so good. I love this. Chrissy, did you have time to think about the questions at all?
Nope, it didn't.
Not yet. All right. No big deal. We can talk about yours next week. So next week, actually, I'm going to have I'm going to have a guest again come and speak to us, hopefully. I'm still like waiting to confirm it, but another coach that I met when I went to New Leader Conference last year. But that is still in the works. So do y'all want to we have about 15 minutes left. Do y'all want to like go kind of look at each other's pages? Or I don't really know that we need to look at each other's pages because I think we look at them every day, but we want to kind of just go through and based on like our avatars that we've shared, like say, okay, I've kind of shared a little bit with you guys of things that I think you could talk about more, like Christy and Sam, based on your avatar, but I kind of want you all to do the same thing for me. And then, like next week, we can work on that with Christy or sometime this week after she has a chance to do it. But I would love to hear what y'all think. I can pull her back up.
Trying to think. Yeah, go back to your girl. I'm sitting here like trying to navigate your Facebook on my screen. Like I'm trying to like scroll down to her. I'm like, this is not even my screen.
That's funny.
Okay, so I totally thought that picture was you until y'all said it wasn't.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I was like, oh look, she used a picture of hers.
And I do think I have pinned that picture on Pinterest as well. I really think that I have.
Yeah. So yeah, at first when I was doing it, I was like Googling the name Bailey, and I was like, this is, none of these people are my person. This is not it. And so then I was like, no, I'm going to search for my haircut because I know that there's a girl on there that really is like who I want to speak to.
Yeah, well, I Googled 25-year-old mom, and it was like them all like mugshots. 25-year-old moms. And I was like, okay, like I will help that 25-year-old mom, but that's not what I'm looking for.
Because really, like, honestly, like, what I think is so powerful about this is, like, especially when you get to the point of, like, building a team, like, you want people on your team who you're excited to be around and that you want to talk to every day and you want to work with. Like, this job is cool in the fact that you get to pick who you work with. And, like, you can be picky. Like, you don't have to let anybody on your team. But I think that's hilarious. All mugshots.
Well, and I think too, like, not only like are you going to get Bailey, like speaking to Bailey, you're going to get Bailey, but you're going to get Sarah who wants to be like Bailey, you know,
Right.
and then so you're going to get Sarah and Bailey because Sarah wants to be like Bailey and Bailey wants to be like you, you know, and have the skills and the things that you have. So,
and something that I could have added, like I need to go back and add a little bit, like after listening to your alls, which is really cool. Like I want to add in the things that like she does. I need to add in things like she does for fun and like the TV shows that she likes to watch. Like she likes Friends. She likes Grey's Anatomy. She's now obsessed with Virgin River. She doesn't watch a ton of TV, but like her specific shows that she does love, like she's addicted to them, and that's all she watches. And also just like music is another thing that I could add. Like if I'm home during the day, I don't have the TV on, I'm listening to music. And that's something that she probably does the same thing. And I listen to all different kinds of music. Like I like country music, I like old country, I like Christian music, I like pop, like I like everything. And so that's something that I could also start talking about. And one thing that I have kind of started sharing more on my stories this week, I don't know if y'all noticed, but I was trying to think of like the things that make me who I am. And one of those things is like being super organized and like cleaning and like I'm constantly like picking things up and putting them in their place and like having the laundry done and putting it away. And like, so I've been trying to share like that kind of aspect of me too, because I know that like the person like Bailey, maybe she's not like that right now, but she wants to be. And so she's going to love getting to hear those tips and things that I use to help keep my life organized. So
yes,
like, that's something I've been sharing.
That's what I was going to say, was just maybe sharing more like how you're type A at home, you know, like what you do that keeps you organized, and like maybe even weird things that you do, like color code your books. Like who does that? You know, who color codes their books? And
I only did it because Rachel Hollis did, and I thought it was pretty.
But like you can share that like on your stories and be like sweet satisfaction, like perfectly color coded books.
Exactly. Yeah.
Get some girls to be like, yes, like that's great.
But then like, okay, so like I also think about like all the things that we do post on our stories, they're so our real life, but then like they're only there for 24 hours. So like I feel like we need to take something from our stories and make a post about it, because like if you go look at our stories, if you go look at our Instagrams, they're selfies, you know, they are mirror pictures, you know. I feel like when I was like creeping on everybody's Instagram this morning. I was like, we need to like post like real life stuff, like not just put it in our stories, but like put it on Instagram so people can see, okay, you know, like, yeah, she has a selfie and she's doing fitness, but look, she's also doing this, you know, look, she also does this, you know.
Yeah, I agree. We definitely need to be more adamant about like not because we're pretty good about posting like all the different kinds of things on our stories, but we kind of get pigeonholed when we're doing a post about certain things. But we need to make sure that we're touching all those different aspects about ourselves with our posts. So I personally think it's super important that you are in your pictures that you post, just because like that is who they want to see.
Right.
But like for me, for example, like if I wanted to make a post about being super organized and keeping things clean, like I could make my bed and sit in the middle of my bed and take a picture and then talk about keeping my house clean.
Right.
You know, like something like that. But I think like just making sure that we are like thinking about like the quality of our pictures and making sure that we have like really good lighting, that it's bright and inviting, that people would like want to come, and like you want your picture to stop people scroll. So something else that I learned this week, I listened to the Instagram training that I had posted in the group, and it was super good. I loved everything about it. And what I loved what she said about your first two sentences of your caption is what you have to get their attention. So when you write out a post, like write it out. Like for me personally, I think the best posts I do are the ones where I'm not super planned out. I'm just like in the moment, like spilling my guts. This is just what's on my heart. But I need to go back and be like, okay, what are my first two sentences here and how am I catching their attention? If I was to scroll past this, first, would somebody stop on my photo and say, oh, this photo is really pretty. This photo like catches my eye. It's bright. It's inviting. It has me curious. And then are the first two sentences going to entice them to keep reading? Because if they're not, then the whole rest of your post is a waste because nobody's going to read the whole thing. So, and I think also having a variety of like shorter captions and longer captions is important, because for me, personally, I probably need to quit doing long captions because I don't read those. Like when it's me scrolling through social media and somebody has a caption that's this long, I'm not going to read it all. And that's just a personal thing for me. And so my Bailey's probably the same way. Bailey's probably not going to read it either. So I need to kind of like switch up a little bit of how I am doing my stuff to make it to more where it's like what I'm interested in when I'm like scrolling through social media. Like it has to be a really good post for me to sit there and read the entire thing. Like you are really going to have to like captivate my attention to get me to read it all. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Yeah, I agree.
I know you don't know how many times I rewrote that the first two lines of the when I posted Christy's transformation. Like I had something, and then I did the same thing. I was like, this is not going to get anyone's attention. Erase it. Write something else. This does not have the feeling that I'm trying to give people. Erase it. Write something else. No, that one sounds weird. Probably like 10 times I rewrote those 2 bars because of what she said.
Yeah, but that's so good that you're thinking about that. And like what you just said is like, that's not the feeling I want them to get. That's everything. So like every single time you're writing a post or putting something on your stories, think about what is the feeling that I want this person that's reading this to get. Like Bailey's going to read this post, and when she gets to the end, what do I want her to get out of this? Do I want her to have this certain type of feeling? Do I want her to have a new idea in her mind about how she can like keep her life organized? Do I want her to feel inspired that she can like watching me do this and be on this journey? Like, do I want her to feel inspired that she could do it too? Like what kind of post, like what's the purpose of your post? Like what is your goal at the end of it? And you can take that even to like when you're thinking about your posts for the week. Like when you're sitting down on Sunday or Saturday or whenever you do it and planning out what you want to do this week, first think about your goal for the week. So I got this from y'all definitely don't need to buy this because I don't use it. But I got this social media planner, the Chic influencer one, and it's really cool, but I just haven't been using it. Whoops. But what I like about it is that they ask you, like, okay, what is your goal for the week? So is your goal for this week going to be to get new people to join your accountability group? Okay, if that's your goal, then what do you need to talk about this week to get people to join your accountability group? And think like with that goal in mind, that's going to create the topics and the content of your posts throughout the week. And so maybe one day, like on Monday, you talk about like not feeling like it, not really being motivated, but discipline and doing it anyways because you have an accountability group that is counting on you. And then maybe on Tuesday, you talk about how you used to be such a super picky eater, but now like you've gotten the hang of this and you found out that you can still make really delicious recipes that you love that are still a part of your meal plan. And then maybe on Wednesday, you talk about, I don't know, maybe you share your transformation on Wednesday about the programs that you've done and they've all been at home and what your favorite thing was about them. Just like stuff like that. So things that are leading up to when you do that like call to action post on Sunday to say, okay, if you want to join our accountability group, like comment below, then all the stuff you've been sharing all week long has been leading up to that and like breadcrumbing with your audience that like they want to join your accountability group too. And so then maybe the next week, you're not so much focused on your accountability group, but you're focused on finding coaches and you're wanting to talk about coaching and the business and that side of things. So that's something that we can think about too. So kind of thinking about like the month as a whole and then breaking it down to your weekly goals and then having that kind of dictate what type of content that you're sharing, but also making sure that you're sharing those other things about your life too. So it's kind of like a dance and like trial and error, figuring out like what works the best for you.
And then like what? Okay, so this is about Instagram. Like I watched the Instagram training the other night, and like I hate my little description thing. Like right at the very beginning, everybody who goes to your Instagram profile, that's what they see. And I just don't feel like mine is strong, and I have like zero clue what to put there.
I haven't even looked at it. Let me look at it.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at it right now.
So what I changed, so if y'all go look at mine, I changed mine to where, she said like don't put your name in the name. So which like me and Sam, like our Instagram handle has our name in it. Like she's Samantha Neal Wellness and I'm Allison Bagnall Fitness. So maybe changing your handle to where it's your name. That way you can use that name line to talk about like what you do, who you are. So like I changed mine to say mindset, confidence, habits, because those are the things that I talk about a lot. Like that's the things that are like really important to me. And then I'm also going to be changing mine soon because I'm going to put something about the podcast on there. But let me see.
And she did also, I think in the Instagram training say like not to do like what I just am on Allison, but mine looks the same. What to do, like Allison has like the strong arm, accountability, and certified nutrition coach. And then a computer, like she said, to like type out like not a paragraph, but like to not have emojis in it. But then I feel like it looks bleh. Like I like the emojis. I like them. I think it like because it's like this first little bit of your profile has like no color, nothing to catch your eye. It's just words,
I feel like she just said she was talking about how people used to do, like they would just have an emoji in one word.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought she meant for this, and I was like, but I like this.
Yeah, I think she was just saying like you need to type out more and not just have like
okay,
coffee lover like what like because that's what mine used to be like. Is it just had like a bunch of one word things. But one thing is like we can like Chrissy for yours, like we can add in, you need a link in your bio. Like if y'all haven't already set up a link tree, it's a really good thing to have. Do you know what that is?
Well, Sam talked about it for a little bit, but
Yeah.
I haven't.
I kind of like I got onto yours, Allison, and then I got on some YouTube videos and like figured out how to do it. Because I was always like, how in the world does she do that? And figured it out. So I told Christy like whenever she's ready to do it, I wouldn't care to like FaceTime her and show her like exactly how to do it.
It's super easy. And
Yeah.
you can add as many links on there as you want. Like I just have one for subscribing to my email list, and then if they want information on my group, there it goes to like a Google form that they can fill out. And like setting up Google Forms is so easy.
Yeah.
And then there's one for joining my team. And then I've also created some lists on Amazon. It's so easy to do that. So like I have a link on there that's like my favorite books. So if anybody is ever asking me about, hey, I'm looking for a new book to read, whatever, I just say, hey, go to the link in my profile. There's a link to my Amazon list, and it has all my favorites on there.
Can you guys send me what your group form looks like? So like I can
Yeah.
set up something
I
similar?
would say Allison May, and I can share you mine too. Which, well, mine looks just like Allison's. So.
Yeah, I will post a link to my forms in the group.
Okay. Well, okay. So when you guys look at my Instagram, do you see that it says Christy Dillon 21, or does it just say K
No, it
Dillon
says
That's your
21?
one name.
It says Christy Dillon. Did you?
Okay. Okay. So then I can.
Did it used
Well,
to
I
be
don't know.
For some reason, I
I
was
think
thinking
it did
you
used to be.
said
I may have changed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it did. I must have changed it. I don't remember. So I can go ahead and delete my name.
Yeah.
Okay. So I need to make a link tree, delete my name, and then just put like some, like you said, just some identifying words like that
Mhm.
you did. Okay.
Yeah. And then like on your last line of your bio, like where you have on a journey to find our place, like I don't know, you might have to like rearrange to make it all fit, but that last line should say something about how they can work with you or how they can get in touch with you. So if they have a link, if you have your link below, like for mine, it says work with me with and the arrow pointing the finger pointing down to my link. So basically telling them like, if you want to work with me, click this link.
Yeah, and I have joined my team. And one thing it took me a while to figure out is, so I don't know if you can see my phone. There it goes. Okay,
Yeah.
so your link tree goes on. Oh man, don't do that. Don't mess up now. Your link tree goes under website.
Okay.
I
Okay.
kept putting it in my bio, but it goes under website, and then it will just kind of automatically go to the bottom.
Yep.
Okay.
I
Okay.
didn't know that. I kept being like, why can't I click on this? And then I had to YouTube how to make link in profile or bio on Insta.
See,
awesome.
anything you need to figure out, just Google it.
Yeah. Well, that was like I have an Android, and in that Instagram training, she had all that stuff about iPhones. I had to go and like completely research how to do it all on Android. I figured it out, but it took me a minute.
Forget everything is figure outable. We need to write a book that says everything.
YouTube it.
Yeah, everything is YouTubeable.
There you go.
Right. And somebody who's like really good to follow, she mentioned it in her thing, but Alex Beeden, I don't know if y'all looked her up, but she's like a social media Instagram story expert. So she shares a lot of stuff about like how to make your Instagram stories cool. Like, see, her name is Alex Beeden, and then her first line in her profile says Instagram Story Queen. So, like something like that. But see, she has a bunch of emojis in hers.
Right.
Yeah, she does.
I just thought that's what she meant was like, well, and that girl, her bio, the girl who did the training, her bio was like virtually inspiring women to achieve all that they can, and it was like a miniature paragraph.
Yeah.
And like I kind of wrote something like that on there, and it just made I felt like it made my profile look bland. Like I thought that the emojis helped bring some color and some like pizzazz, some sprinkles or something. So
For sure. And then, like she said, making sure that you have some like highlights. I don't know why it won't focus.
Yeah.
But right
I
there.
don't know what to put there. What do we even do? Like, what do you put there?
I put like, which I need to get new ones that have color because mine are plain, and I think that's what adding into why I feel like my profile doesn't stick out. But I just got on Pinterest and like searched Instagram story highlights, and like you can find, it's really kind of ghetto, but they have like a sample of ones you can buy, and I just screenshot it and then like zoomed in a lot because I'm really cheap and won't buy things. But I have one for Starbucks because I love coffee, so I put Starbucks on there. I have one for my mommy and me meals, and then I have one called Feeling 100, and that's where I put all of my posts about Morning Meltdown 100.
Oh, okay. So, like, do you save your stories to your highlight?
Yeah. So like you could make one about Bar Blend, and then like all your stories about Bar Blend go there, and then
You
And
can
the
make one
daily
about ice
life of
cream.
Lita Bug. Yes.
Make one about ice cream and put all of your ice cream recipes in it.
and one about your pup, and put all of your everything about your pup in there. And
So basically anything that people are like super interested in about you or ask you about all the time. Like
Yeah.
I have a Starbucks one on there because literally every time I post a Starbucks that I get, people are like, what is that? What's the recipe? What do you order? And then somebody one day was like, will you please make a highlight and put these in there so I can go back to it? And so I did. So just stuff like that.
Well, and I feel like what is a good place to start, and like I kind of need to redo mine, it's like there's without having to scroll, there's 4 highlights. So, last week we talked about thinking about the 5 things that make us us.
Yeah.
Pick the 4 of them, and those are your first 4 highlights. Like, so mine would be my mommy and me meals is one big aspect. And then I'm a coffee lover. And then like I even have coffee in my bio. And then I could do one of Elise, and everything that has Elise in it goes into
Mm-hmm. And when you're thinking about your bio, what people see when they first come to your page, like try to think about things that are like, if I was to see that this girl followed me, like if Chrissy came and followed me, I'm going to click on her page and go to it and decide whether or not I want to follow her back. Think about what things would you want to see in that profile that would entice you to be interested to follow that person. And a lot of times, like, the reason I don't say, like, online, I don't even know what mine says, something about being a coach, but I don't ever want to say anything like online Beachbody coach or something like that, because then people are going to be turned off and they're going to be like, nah, I don't want to follow this girl because she's just going to, like, try to get me to join Beachbody. But in reality, like, I just want people to follow my page because I want them to, like, get the tips and the lifestyle like things that I want to share that can help them too, whether or not they decide to join my group or not. So like just making sure that you are putting things like that. So I'm going to be working on mine too, because I think I want to change, like I'm going to take off the full-time CPA part, and I'm probably going to take off like the accountability and certified nutrition coach maybe, and change that one just a little bit, to make it be more like, okay, what am I about? Like, what are the things that I'm passionate about? So like type A, organized, like planner, obsessed, whatever, like those little like personality traits are probably going to be more of what I put in that. Just like if you go to Ashley Smith, so like hers says, Mama ×3, shop my brand, the B brand, finding sanity, not vanity through fitness, and I help mamas step into their purpose and thrive in body, spirit, and mind. So it has a lot of like about her, but it doesn't say like I'm an online coach,
Yeah.
And like, see, and people do it so differently. Like Ashley Molstad, she's the #1 coach. Her bio says, wellness coach and podcast host, passionate about helping women live a life they love without waiting on the wait. Like, think about what is your mission. Like for your business, like every single business has a mission statement. So same thing goes with us and our business. So like when it comes to coaching and what you're doing to help women, what is your mission with that? So like, I don't know if y'all noticed, like a couple weeks ago, I changed the bio or description of Radiant Empire, and in the picture it says our mission, helping women build confidence and live life with purpose. So like, that is my thing. Like, I want the women that I help to like be confident and be happy and have a life that has purpose and gives them meaning. Like, that is my mission. So that's what I'm going to incorporate into my profile. So, which like one of my lines says, helping women build confidence and live with purpose. So like, think about that when you're thinking about what you're going to put in your bio.
That helps.
Yeah. Yay, this is good. I love when we like have these interactive calls where we can chat about stuff. I want to share my thing with you guys. Oh, I'm glad. Oh, hang on, you guys.
Another
I'm going to stop
Oh,
recording.
no, you're fine.